We'll move ahead. So my next question to you, Amitabh, actually comes is, now Digital India has been greatly successful, and we heard in the morning session, in the inaugural session, the minister also talking about it, including the Bhashini and large language models, and but the challenge of what is new in Digital India, which we can expect, is something we would love to hear your thoughts and vision about. And the second question I would have is, India is a vast country, so not everybody would really require large language learning models, right? How do you would see the generation of the future develop themselves to be able to cater to all the requirements of AI which India would typically have?
Hello. Yeah, so, coming to your first part of the question as, what are we trying to do in Digital India? See, uh, we had a lot of programs in Digital India going from past to current. And some of the programs actually started quite a while back and started from Aadhaar, where we provided the identity. Then it was direct benefit transfer. Then came the UPI, and then came the other programs which were there, which were more or less using and proving to the world that internet you can use internet to do transactions and service delivery, which was kind of unique in the world actually. And if you actually look at it, each of these initiatives created an industry of its own. UIDI created a biometric industry which was non-existent before, and it started new paradigms of how transactions would be done, how digital economy would work. Uh, Currently, as of now, what we are doing and we are addressing using AI is the age-old problem of India of diversity in languages. And Bhashini, with the organization which I head, actually uses AI, artificial intelligence, as the underlying technology to create language models which can translate one language to other. And what we do there is, we have almost created 300 AI models, created a platform called National Hub of Language Technology, which render these AI models as services. And then, we are serving the customers using this AI chatbot, AI models of translation. Among the translation, we are also doing automatic speech recognition. That means the computer should recognize what you speak. And we are doing machine translation from one language to other. And then we are doing text to speech. That is, the text could be translated to speech if it is encoded in a particular language. And all we are catering to 22 languages. We are on a journey. So text to text, we do about 22 languages, while on speech, we are at about 12 languages. When we started off this journey, not enough skills were available in AI, so we turned around to research institutes and colleges of the country, and we roped in about 70 colleges in the country. And each one of them was given a certain set of problems. And, I'm just traversing you through the journey because that would, take out what are the skills which are developed, what are the experiences which are there. The research institutes actually were given the tasks which were there. Among the 22 languages, the digital presence of many languages is minuscule or nil, right? And we went embarked onto a journey of creating digital data. That means we went onto the field. There were 200 people who were there on the field who collected data from the field, speech data, transcribed the data, translated the data, and gave it to us so that we can train the AI models. And that's a skill which is going to continue. We have challenges with respect to, in India specifically, on the language part of it, where the digital data does not exist. Most of our Indian culture and value systems are still not digitized. There would be digital data which needs to be created and recorded. And there is an organization called Karya, which actually goes to the last mile to collect the data. The annotation and labeling, of data has started to become an industry by itself. And that is where we are also spending money, and there are other organizations which are spending money to actually create those data points. Came the question of, the AI models which were created by research institutes. As I said, we have about 300 models. But then came the, transition time when it didn't remain the research subject, it got democratized. And Bhashini as such is, uh, open sourcing most of the models which are there, AI models which are there. And hence, we found, at least many of the 12th class students or 12th class or undergraduate students coming back to us and saying that, hey, we have created a model, it's now about 70% accurate. Can you fund the GPUs so that we can take it to the 90%? So training of AI models has now become a work area which can be done on a job basis. So we are now thinking that can we run a hackathon of saying that here is the data set, please train the models in your own way to increase the accuracy of the model which is there. The important thing which we further did was that we started deploying this on a use cases. And when we started deploying this on a use cases, what we found was that the use cases were to make the society inclusive because we were having speech in our portfolio, and a voice-to-voice communication is actually leading to a situation where you are bridging not only transcending the language divide, but bridging the digital divide and literacy divide also. So you can get the machine to work by speaking, right? It has come to a situation where when anything which a person wants to do can be done using a chatbot, where the pipeline of automatic speech recognition, text to text translation, and text to speech translation can be defined. So there came the ingenuity and the people. There are a lot of people who started working on the situation where they started reimagining the user journey. Reimagining the user journey, for example, a grievance redressal from a point of view of last person on the queue who only knows how to speak and state his point of view. He doesn't know how to read or write, or he doesn't know how to, operate a computer. So there we started this. This is a completely new area of work which has become, which defines the user journey. That means there is definitely a design thinking required. There is a requirement of prompt engineering, because once the
Don't worry. Definitely you can start speaking English fluently. I am Dr. Vivekanand Rayake.
prompt engineering, because once the voice is captured in a language, it is translated, then it has to be given to a system which will actually give you the answer which is required, and the system will then again speak back. We started reimagining the financial systems. Voice-based payment is something which we have launched, and we have looked at many of the user journeys which have come in. So if you look at all the journeys or learnings which we have till now, and that is, we are still in early days, I would say, we have these many skills which have come up, which are actually now multiplying. Then, of course, this AI services have to be rendered, the platform has to be scaled up, so cloud becomes an important activity. And scaling of cloud is a space which actually would remain, an activity which has to be done, because this is basically a situation where, the load comes on a burst. There are people who are trying to do. And in future, the voice would become a very important activity, because we are leading to an era where people, means even Prime Minister had used this system, which was basically, he was speaking in one language and it was getting translated into other language to address the people. There will be a speech technology and audio engineering, speech processing, voice processing is going to be a very important aspect of future skills. So AI is not, it's just, I would say that it is actually increasing the footprint of the skills which we require, along with the numbers, for making the life more predictable and possible. Of course, there are other sides of it, which is responsible AI and ethics part of it, which is requiring another set of activity, guideline, legal and other areas which has to be worked upon. So a lot of things in the exciting futures. It is a question of how our next generation chooses the subject matter and decides to specialize on and, brings in the flavor of AI.
Thank you. Before I can comment on this, I do know Anuj needs to go, so.
Yeah, sorry to intervene. You have to leave, I guess. So we would like to felicitate you, sir, before you leave, and I'd request Dr.